Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining today. I'm super excited that you all are investing in your businesses today and investing in how to grow your brands. We're very excited to partner with Attentive and to share with you guys some insights into how to use SMS marketing to grow your brand. I have a boss with me today who I can personally say is an amazing resource for knowledge, for experience on helping people to use SMS successfully. So welcome everybody. Thank you for everybody who's just joining in. Happy Wednesday. We are here to help inspire you today, to help educate you, to help you take your business to the next level. So we are all thrilled that you guys are here. If anyone is having, I just saw a comment of someone that can't hear, if anyone's having audio issues, Melissa from our team, Mel from Makesy, she can try to help you guys through the chat window. So if you have a technical issue, please just reach out in the chat and we'll help get you set up. But if not, I see we have a good group here. So without any further jibber jabber, boss, please take it away. Please tell us who you are, a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. It's a really pleasure for me to join you all. I want to make sure that this is as conversational as possible. So if you have a question, chat it. You can unmute yourself and shout it out, whatever feels most comfortable for you. I'm also going to include my email address in this deck that I share. So if you prefer to just email me after the fact, I know that sometimes asking a question in front of a large group can be a little onerous. Email me instead. I'm really here to help however you all might need. But as Shar mentioned, my name is Abbas. I am a client strategy manager here at Attentive. My job is to partner with a brand like any of yours and just work with your SMS program and work through goals with you and offer optimization ideas and suggestions and strategies so that we're able to reach those goals in as few quarters as possible. Because we always want you to have as large of an ROI every month, because that is what makes us look good and you feel profitable. And both of those are best. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go through a deck that has quite a bit of information, but also quite a bit of different examples and use cases that I hope are applicable to a lot of you, if not all of you. And again, during this, ask me or chat in whatever questions you have. Mel, Shar, and I can all keep track of the chat and see what we want to shout out and maybe spotlight and answer.
That is perfect. And for anybody on the call, if you guys can let us know in the chat if you guys have ever used any form of SMS marketing before. If you're not using SMS marketing, what are you guys doing to talk to your customers today? We would love to know that. That can help us shape more context to provide the most value to you guys out of this webinar. So let us know and we'll get started.
That's very wise to start with, because I think that your SMS marketing should always run parallel with any other kind of marketing that you're running, and it should not be the sole marketing channel that you use. If you're depending on SMS marketing as your sole source of marketing, then that's a great place to start. And we can work on girding your marketing campaign or your marketing strategy with other channels as well. But I'm just
sounds like from the comments coming in so far, most people are currently just using email and they have not used SMS before. So for everybody who's on this and you have not done SMS before, if you're not even familiar with that term, we're simply talking about you being able to text your customers. I'm sure a lot of you guys are on the subscriber end of that now, and you're receiving messages from brands. So that's what we're referring to when we say SMS marketing. SMS obviously is a more personal touch point than email, and a boss will get into all of that, but just wanted to offer that preliminary.
If you've ever been on a brand's website and seen one of those email captures that asks you to plug in your email address and then phone number, and you later receive texts that are some sort of marketing, that is what your SMS marketing channel does. So it's a really powerful channel to harness, because as you all know, with your phones, you're most likely to read any text that comes through rather than just delete it and not read it at all. So the access that you have to your customers is incredibly powerful when you harness SMS. So allow me to share my screen and we can jump into more of the meat and potatoes of this discussion. But here is an example of an SMS marketing campaign that has gone out. And when I say marketing campaign, I'm always referring to a text that you're sending out that's a one-time text that has to do with something that you're advertising to your subscribers. So you'll hear me use this phrase a lot. And in this example, you'll see that we get an image included with the text. Your subscriber is able to text you back and you are able to respond. So these are all things that you're actively able to do when you start utilizing SMS as a potential marketing channel for your brand. But before we get into any of that, here's just an example of the Makesy Attentive team. So this is a team that you could have if you were to partner with Attentive as your SMS marketing provider. I'm the client strategy manager, so I work with Makesy really directly. We have, I think, a bi-weekly moment or a bi-weekly meeting at the moment. So we meet every 2 weeks in person to discuss any new strategies or optimizations that we might want to take advantage of. And then in between, we email whenever there's something that could be helpful. This is my—
Just to add on really quick, boss. For any of you, I'm just seeing a lot of comments in the chat and it looks like most people have not used SMS before. So I just want to throw in a little bit here. If you guys are not subscribed to Makesy's SMS, I hope that you will be able to use it for inspiration on what you should do for your brand and how to interact with your clients. SMS is a great channel for us and connecting with you all. And we want you to be able to kind of take that, garner some learnings, and then use it towards your audience as well. So if you guys have not subscribed, that's on our website. It should pop up when you come to our website. If not, you can subscribe in the footer. So make sure that you guys are subscribed to that as well so that you can see what we're doing as well.
And I promise I'm not saying this just because I'm on a Makesy call, but Makesy's SMS marketing is genius. And the reps that they have working on it on the Makesy team, one, provide really dynamic content that the subscribers are constantly engaged with. And you can tell that based on the unsubscribe rate. I think Makesy has one of the lowest unsubscribe rates of all of the brands that I help. But they also have one of the highest ROIs of all of the brands that I help. So the content that they're putting out is one, things that the subscribers want, and two, things that the subscribers are really engaging with. So if you would like an example of how somebody's doing it really effectively, I would follow the Makesy brand. They're actually a brand that I recommend to a lot of my other brands. So that's just insider info for you, Charlotte. So thank you for that.
Thanks.
But I'm supported by a bunch of other executives at my team. So there's a wealth of knowledge that you partner with when you partner with Attentive. It's not just one layered. So a lot of the questions or strategies that I bring to Makesy, especially when we were more actively rebranding a few months ago, were things that I ran past my executive team just to make sure that I was offering the best and most succinct strategy that we could. So know that information here is double checked and reinforced whenever possible. So some just general information about Attentive as a company. We were founded by the executives of Twitter, so we're really based in startup culture and technology culture, which means that the technology is constantly evolving and constantly adapting to improve and offer new customizations and suggestions based on what clients are offering us. We have about 800 people within the company, so based on that number alone, you can tell just how much support you'll have access to here. And the headquarters are in New York City, although we have representatives living across the nation. I, for example, am based in Chicago. So if you are a brand that's based anywhere in the country, there's likely that there's a representative living somewhere near you. So if you needed somebody to even come for face-to-face interaction, that is very possible here. Here are just some of our major investors, and then we work with about 4,000 leading brands. But I have quite a bit of information that I'd like to get to that I think will be more applicable to you all. So this will be available as a slide in the deck when I send it as a PDF later in case you'd ever like to refer back to it. But here is an example that I put together based on a year of either revenue growth and subscriber growth of a company that has 1,000 average visitors in a month. The average order size is $50. and the average conversion rate is 1.5%, which is a really conservative number with attendance conversion averages. So you'll see up here that within a year, a client of this size is expected to gain around 856,000 in revenue across 12 months, especially when messaging incrementally, this revenue will grow. We find the same with subscriber growth. So with a site receiving this many visitors, this is the typical growth rate that we would see. So within a year, you should see that your program would grow by 33,601 new subscribers. That doesn't necessarily mean at the end of the year, you will still have the same amount, because you will likely see a small amount of people.
Melissa on our team, can you mute, or if anybody can do it yourselves too, can you just mute yourselves? Thank you, guys.
But if you'd like to participate, let us know. So this is
if you have a question, you can unmute.
Absolutely. But this is just a nice example of what you might be able to see typically for a brand that is seeing this kind of engagement. So we would work together to create this kind of growth, and it's pretty typical for the brands that partner with us. It's definitely something that Makesy had in spades. So I wanted to take a look at some larger trends that are really, I guess, contributing to this really large spike in e-commerce sales that we're seeing, especially post-COVID, but also trends that are making SMS particularly a powerful e-commerce channel. So you'll see here that SMS has increased incrementally year upon year as people have become more and more comfortable with shopping at home and more comfortable shopping on the go. More specifically, we can see that SMS is by far the most outperforming marketing channel when we look at email and when we look at other apps on your phone, especially if you have a branded app. So that's why we recommend using all three of these in conjunction if you have the option. But email and SMS working together can be an incredibly powerful marketing source for you, especially if we start orchestrating emails and messages to go out together. I'll look at that more closely. Just if we're looking at generations and how they use SMS or how they respond to SMS marketing, you'll see that a Gen Z person spends a little over an hour on their phone texting in a day on average, whereas they may spend about 44 minutes looking at emails on their phone on average. And then it's a very similar trend for baby boomers too. So still, SMS remains the most powerful marketing channel out of the three if you were to choose one to harness and utilize. The reason being, a phone is so immediate, it's always at a person's fingertips. And again, a person literally has to click through a text in order to get rid of it. Whereas an email can very easily be routed to spam. If you use Gmail, it could very easily be routed to promotions. So using those two together ensures the best chance that somebody's going to see whatever marketing you're putting out into the world. Now, we tested recently to see how many of our subscribers are actively interested in receiving SMS marketing before they subscribe. And based on the people that receive impressions, whether they subscribe or not, we saw that about 50% were interested in receiving SMS marketing, which again is just another reassurance of how powerful this channel is. Now, here is an example of the typical open rates for an SMS campaign, or in other words, a single message that you're sending out to your subscribers, or example of typical click-through rates for an email. So a text message is opened almost 99% of the time. Your emails click through about 30% of the time. And these are also conservative estimates. So again, this is just another really great indication that an SMS campaign has that much more opportunity to be interacted with by a human than an email that you're sending out. And you'll see both have the exact same content. So if using both in conjunction could be helpful, why not do it? I have some examples of how the product is utilized practically, and then I have some examples of use cases of different ways that you can use SMS depending on your product or the different kind of ways that you might want to actually engage with your subscribers. When I say subscriber, this is a customer that's gone to your website and they've said, yes, I would like to receive SMS marketing from you. So first, we have the playbook. And the playbook is the most basic part of your SMS program. And it's connecting with a person like me to help build out your subscriber list or the people that are agreeing to receive messages from you, and help build out campaigns that your subscribers are responding to and actually making purchases from. How to create automated messages that go out to your subscribers depending on what they're doing on your website. So for example, if they click on a product, but they don't actually put it in their cart, you can automate a message to them reminding them of the fact that they viewed this product and they were interested in it, but they haven't purchased it yet. Similarly, if they've added something to their cart, but they actually haven't made the purchase, we can automate a reminder to that person, letting them know that, hey, you were so interested in this product that you added it to your cart. Make sure you purchase it before we're out of it. But there's so many different ways that you can engage with these subscribers, and a person like me will help you figure out the best way to do it, and then consistently meet with you to ensure that we are not only pushing your marketing goals, but exceeding upon them whenever possible. We do this through regular check-ins. So as I mentioned with Makesy, I do one with them every 2 weeks. And we find that it's just a really helpful cadence to regularly connect, but then also give enough time between meetings to accomplish some of those projects that we put together for each other.
Boss, I don't want to get ahead of anything that you have planned, but I definitely know like a question that came up before this call and one that just came into the chat too was like, can a startup brand use SMS? Like,
Oh yeah.
Is there any size business that's too small for SMS? Do you guys work with all size businesses? Can you just touch on that really quickly?
Yes, we work with all size businesses. So if SMS is a marketing channel that you'd like to harness, then there's somebody here that will be able to help you. And then we'd be able to create a contract that's appropriate for your business size so that it's something that you can manage and feel that not only you can afford, but that you're actually creating enough revenue upon. So any size business is something that can work with SMS, especially if you're a startup or especially if you're a new business. This can be incredibly powerful for you all. So a huge advantage of SMS, which we're going to take a look at some examples in a moment, but you get the opportunity to tell your subscribers or your customers what you want them to know about your brand. So as a new brand or as a rebranded brand or as a startup, this is the opportunity for you to tell them exactly what they think you need them to know. So for a clothing brand, you can ask them things about, or you can tell them things about your sustainability practices, maybe about your hiring practices, maybe about the designers you partner with, maybe about the kind of fabrics you use, maybe about the kind of artisans you practice with. If you're a company like Makesy, you get to tell them about all of the different kind of utilizations you can use when you purchase these tools. Like, for example, you can be a small business owner or a maker like any of you. So you get to take the opportunity to directly say something to a customer and know that they're likely going to read it, which is not the case with an email. So for a startup or for a new business, SMS could be incredibly powerful. And you're gaining these subscribers by putting something on your website. So the people that are joining your program are people that are actively interested in your brand. So as a new brand or as a startup, the new traffic that you're getting to your website is so exciting and is something that you can harness then into girding your marketing channel. So yes, definitely 100% yes. Any kind of business of any size could really benefit from an SMS marketing channel. Here are just some basic stats that are helpful when thinking about the team, and then just some examples from some of our bigger brands and how they really enjoy partnering with their CMS or their CSM. But know that our client strategy department is about 150 plus people. So this includes just the strategy managers that are engaging with you directly, and then all of the support that they have. So the likelihood that you're going to be talking to your client strategy manager all the time is really high. We have one of the highest CSM departments, I think, in terms of SMS marketing in our vertical.
Yeah, and I just add on to that, like why we selected Attentive. Obviously, we use Attentive, but our goal really at Makesy, you guys have a lot of the same business needs that we do or that we did as a small business. And so we're seeking to vet out the best possible resources for you guys to save you the work from like trying all of these different options for SMS or for email, and make it really simple to say, hey, you guys, we did this. We like made the mistakes for you. Like, this is the best option so that you can save money for your business and move forward quickly. So Attentive is best in class when it comes to SMS. That's why we selected them to speak on this topic specifically. But it's a great resource, and one that I can speak to personally, that I think a lot of you guys as small businesses would see almost an instant revenue lift from as you grow that subscriber list. You guys are probably starting to garner that info yourselves from the last couple of statistics that a boss has shared too. So just wanted to throw that in.
And one of my favorite stats to share with our CSM team is that we have a white glove team, and that's our customer support team. And their response time average is under 20 minutes. So as a small business owner, the problem that you're dealing with, or an issue that you're dealing with, or a concern that you're dealing with is very immediate to you, and it's just as immediate to us. So it's not like as a small business owner, you'd be receiving any different kind of service. Everybody receives an equitable amount of service and an equitable amount of attention, which is one of my favorite things about Attentive. I'm gonna skip through that last playbook slide. Again, I'm gonna send you this deck so that you can read it. And this is just for making sure that we get through as much of this content before I have to leave you all. Just because I have another brand that I have to assist. But one of the most important things about partnering with Attentive that I think you all are wondering about is how it can help grow your programs. So this is an example of how you can grow customers without Attentive, and with Attentive, you can increase your customer list by 3 times more. Reason being is that we'll give you one of these pop-ups that we can place on your website that allows you to capture information about the people visiting your site and are therefore interested in your brand. And there are so many different ways that you can customize this pop-up. Here are a few ways that you can do it right off the bat, just to get you imagining what's possible. This example pop-up includes or captures the email as well as the phone number. But if capturing someone's email address is not interesting to you, you can skip right to the phone number. But you'll see here, this pop-up is a partial, so it doesn't take up an entire phone screen. It offers the brand name and logo. It gives you a nice greeting or a nice call to action. And then it offers you an incentive for joining the program. The incentive is really important. I think that the value of gaining a customer, especially one that's going to purchase from you pretty regularly, is worth whatever incentive you might be offering. And this is something that you can adjust. You can try it for a couple of weeks, try something else. Attentive gives you the option of testing between a couple of units. So again, something incredibly customizable, but it takes so much of the work out of capturing a customer and getting the information from them that you need in order to send them messages. The most important part is that it asks your customers to opt in twice. And by opting in twice, they then have an audit trail for their opting into your program, which you can then use if you ever have a legal issue with this customer. So the opt-in process is proprietary for us and one of our proudest products that we offer. Now, again, here are just some other examples as to how you can customize the pop-up. We include coupon fraud safeguards. You can test between different units. You can change sizing, you can change font, you can change coloring, you can change background, you can change legal language, although I don't necessarily recommend that. But all of this is customizable and comes with our compliance team's safety. So we have a literal team of compliance experts that look at how you might be able to build one of these units. And we've included safeguards that say, hey, this color scheme isn't compliant with how somebody can very easily read the information. You need to change it. Or this text is too small, a person won't be able to read it, you need to change it. All of those safeguards are included in this builder, so those reminders are automatic. You're never left on your own to have to do any of this, which is a huge selling point for me.
Boss, really quick. To that last slide, can you just define for the audience what A/B testing means?
Oh, totally. I apologize. That's a term that I
Okay,
throw around every day and I forget that
that's
it's not
okay.
something. So we have these different tools in the system that allow you to test between two different variations of something so you can really tell what your subscribers are going to respond to. So in this example, you could see if you wanted this design, but you also wanted to try one with a plain background, or maybe one that offers 5% off, or maybe one that says join our VIP list instead of offering a discount if you're afraid of offering a discount, you could test between those two units. We can try one with 10% and we can try one with no percent off, or you can try one with a different background, or you can try one with a colored background. And then the same kind of concept goes for when you're sending campaign messages, which I think is especially powerful. Like if you don't know if your customers are going to respond to formal text or a more casual text, you can test between two copy and you can see which your customers respond to and use that as the text that goes out to the larger group. So you're testing within a smaller group and then the winner in that group goes out to everybody else. But it's a
Yeah.
really powerful tool within the system. Especially as a new brand or especially as a startup, if you're unsure of what people are going to respond to, that A/B testing could be really useful to you. Now, something that I think is especially powerful in the tool is that we build subscriber profiles for the people that are signing up for your program. So when they sign up through your pop-up, they're giving you their phone and email address. When they click on their first text, we cookie them. So we start tracking the items that they're clicking on your website, what they're purchasing on your website, what they're clicking on and not purchasing on your website. So you can start using all of this information to engage with them more directly. So again, for a new business, this is really powerful. But after we cookie them, we're also able to capture things like their device type, their carrier, and their location. So in case you wanted to do any kind of geographic sending, this is information that we'll capture for you. Now, in terms of the kind of messages you can send, these are the major ones. Triggered, these are automatic messages that are going out based on what somebody's doing on your website. Are they signing up for your program? Then you're triggering them with a welcome message that's giving them their first discount. Are they clicking on an item but not purchasing it? If so, you're triggering them with a message reminding them to purchase that item that they didn't actually put in their cart. A campaign message. This is about 25% of the messages that you'll be sending out because journeys or the automated messages go out quite often since they're automatic. But these are great because they allow you to create a one-time message or a one-time campaign that's talking about anything you want to talk about. Typical things you would message about: new products, product drops, brand information, a site-wide sale that you might be having, a holiday shipping information notice that you want to give out. Maybe this is something that you send out before the holidays just to make sure that they give you enough shipping time. But a campaign message is that universal way that you can say pretty much anything to your subscribers and you're almost guaranteed that they're going to see it.
And you guys, just to add on to that too, like sending these, I saw someone say like they're kind of overwhelmed with all of the technology that goes into marketing and creating their own brand, which I can so relate to what a lot of others have voiced as well. And I will say sending out messages through Attentive is basically as simple as just sending a text message out. Like it's incredibly easy to do. The platform is very user friendly. You can basically just go in, type your message, add your emojis, add your images, deploy your campaign. You can get a lot more technical if you want to. You can go deeper and deeper as you get more comfortable, but it's very easy to start out simple.
I'm going to pop into the Makesy account for a second in a moment just to show you how easy it is. But what I want to point out when I send you this deck as a PDF is that towards the end of this messaging section, I've included some different examples of different kind of messages you could send depending on what kind of product you might offer. So check out this bottom half. But let's take a look at the system itself. So here's Makesy's account, really easy. You're able to see awesome things like how much revenue is coming in, how many new subscribers are coming in. But let's take a look at campaigns in this campaign builder. So this is how you send a one-time message to your subscriber. Do you want to send a message? Do you want to A/B test? Do you want to use a template that we have ready for you? You decide. You hit continue once you've made a decision. You get to name your campaign. So I'm going to name this test. You get to choose who you want this campaign going to. Is it all of your subscribers? Is it a small list of your subscribers that you've made? You have the opportunity to create custom audiences in Attentive. But if you hit save and continue, it's literally as easy as typing your text, and you get to see what your customer would receive on the other side. If we want to add images, we can. If you wanted to add an emoji or emojis, you can. You could add links directly to your website. So if you wanted to add a link to the sales page or to the direct product that you're talking about, you can do that right here. And we add UTM parameters that track it for you. If you're using Shopify, you can do things like plug in a person's first and last name. That's something we capture through Shopify, which is an e-commerce platform. So it's a platform that would fuel the shopping portion of your website. Or you can just plug in a discount that you want to use time and time again. So it's as easy as this. Hitting save and continue, you now have a message ready that you can send to your subscriber. You can test it by sending it to yourself. But if you just choose a time and hit send, it's ready to go to whoever you selected. So it's seriously as easy as that. And then the other cool thing that I just want to show you very briefly is that you can create an automated message like this, just as easily. You get to choose who it goes to based on something somebody's doing. You choose the message that goes out based on this criteria, and it'll go out every single time. So this was a lot of information, and I hope a lot of useful information. So I want to give you all about 5 minutes or so to chat in some questions, and I'll answer a couple. And then if you have any that you'd like to email me, I'll again point to where my email address is located in this deck, but it's on the second slide. It's right here. Email me whenever you want. And if you're interested in getting connected with a sales representative to talk more actively about joining Attentive's program, I'll connect you with one right away.
Abbas, I can field a couple of questions that came in for you. There was one that a few people asked about, which was on the 2-step email and text sign up. If they're already using an email provider such as Klaviyo or MailChimp, does that integrate with Attentive?
Yeah, we have, there's a bunch of slides towards the end that shows you all of the different technology that we integrate with. Let me just show you where that is. But yeah, the idea is that if you have an email service provider, we want to pass them that email so that you can use it. So we integrate with MailChimp, with Klaviyo, with ActiveCampaign. Actually, I can just show you. So here under Marketplace, these are all of the different kind of apps that you could connect with. There's so many. We connect with e-commerce platforms, with customer service platforms. But yeah, if we capture your email, we want to partner with your email service provider so that you're able to use that email outside of Attentive. That's the whole goal.
Okay, fantastic. I have another question I already know the answer to, but I'll let you answer it briefly. In terms of compliance, what security do customers have in that, like, their customer information is protective and it doesn't leave Attentive?
Absolutely. So compliance is one of our proudest products beyond the 2-tap product. We have about a decade worth of compliance experience. So we literally have a team that builds all of these compliance safeguards into the system itself. So an example of that being, if you were a subscriber and you texted back any word that sounds like cancel or stop, we automatically opt you out of the program so that we are no longer sending you uncompliant messages. If you are a subscriber who is joining the program, you are required to tell us that you want to join this program twice so that we have 2 points of compliance so that we can point to an audit in case you ever need to audit the subscriber. We have a compliance team that puts in rules that say that will alert you if you're sending a message that's sending content that's not allowed to be sent. Those are things like hate speech or alcohol use contents or things that have to do with guns or firearms. All of that is not allowed to be sent through a text campaign, and the system will literally prevent you from doing it. If you're making a pop-up that isn't compliant, like it's colors that a person can't read, that could get you into, that could be an issue. And that's something that the system literally prevents you from doing. So there's so much compliance safeguards built into the tool itself, but we also have a team that you can talk to whenever you want.
Amazing. One more question that a couple people asked. Is there anything, Abbas, that you can tell them about pricing or how pricing works? Like probably most people like said they've never used SMS before, so they have no baseline for this or any idea. Can you give them a little bit of insight and then just what to do, remind everybody what to do as a next step if they're interested?
Absolutely. So I have the very basic pricing that a sales executive would start with, but you talking to a sales executive gives you your opportunity to ask for what you want. So as a small business owner, as a new business owner, ask them for the kind of discounts you'd like to see and see what happens. That's always what I like to recommend. But this is the basic small business package that you would see. It's $299 to pay for the platform itself, and then you're charged per message. And that per message rate is something you negotiate with the salesperson. And then if you sign a multi-year contract, that's something that you can ask for even more with. So you can ask for larger discounts, you can ask for things to be waived. So just know that that power is yours, especially if you're doing something like signing a multi-year contract, whether it's with us or with a different vendor. Make sure to ask these kind of questions. And this slide will be included in the information that I send. But I definitely have to go at this point. I've been leaving my other brand for about
Thank
4
you,
minutes.
Boss. No, we appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. Email me all your questions. I'm here to help. And it was a pleasure talking to you all today.
Thank you, Boss.
Totally.
For everybody else, I will sign off as well. If you guys have any questions and you didn't get a boss's email, we will send out the deck to everybody who registered for the event. If you guys have questions, you can always reach us through our live chat or via hello@makesy.com. So reach out with emails. If you guys need any tips on negotiating the best prices with Attentive, shoot us a message. Been there, done that. So we're happy to help out. And for anybody who is just starting out and is feeling like you're not sure where to start with your marketing strategy, SMS, like if you were able to view a boss showing the demo, is extremely simple, virtually no technical understanding needed to do it. So it's a great tool for small businesses. And if the pricing seemed high to you guys, you can always negotiate it down once you get to the point of talking to a sales representative from Attentive too. So as Makesy, we just wanted to bring this to you guys to really help you. It's a tool that's helped us grow our business, and we want to help you guys be as successful in growing your businesses as possible too. So if you guys have other business services that you feel like are a pain point for you, i.e., I don't know how to use email marketing, or I don't know how to build a website, or I don't know where to distribute my products, please send them to us. We'd love to hear what you guys need. Our goal is to bring those resources to you. So please let customer service know. Join our Facebook communities. We have a community manager that is basically just looking out for how we can help you guys at all times. So feel free to leave a comment in our candle making Facebook groups or in our Business 101 Facebook group. And I see somebody needs packaging help too. So this is great feedback. We're going to continue these Zoom series. So they're all going to be focused really on business and how to help grow your businesses. So we're looking for other topics and areas of where we can help you guys with that. So thank you everybody for joining. We're going to end the meeting, but we will send out the recording and we will send out the deck. And thank you again. I hope you guys have an inspired day and you're feeling excited and empowered about growing your business after this. Bye guys.